So often we reach for that tiller to turn in an overgrown patch of weeds or start a new garden plot, or maybe just mix in some new soil amendments into an existing plot. But is tilling really the best way to go to improve your soil? While it might be the easiest and fastest way to get started, it's not the best way. Today I'm going to show you why a no-till approach to gardening and improving your soil is a much better way. Plus, I'll show you a quick way to get started so you can ditch that tiller for good. So farmers and gardeners till for a few main reasons: to turn in those overgrown weeds, to create a new planting space, or to generally just mix in some new nutrients into an existing plot. But here's the problem with tilling. Every time you do it, those tines are bringing up dormant weed seeds, millions of them, so now that they're exposed to the sunlight, they can germinate. But here's the bigger issue. Whenever those tines turn into the soil, they're destroying nature's infrastructure. All those billions of microorganisms working together, known as the soil food web. Those particles bind together to improve drainage, help retain moisture and aeration. And one more thing, as those tines are spinning, they're burning up carbon and nitrogen, elements and nutrients that the plants need to do what they do best, and they get that from the soil. But when we till, we destroy all of that. That's not the direction we want to go. So what's the alternative to tilling? Well, a no-till garden, of course. In a no-till garden, we still have the same objectives: fewer weeds, a place to plant, and improved soil. But in a no-till scenario, you let nature do the soil prep for you. And that's the key difference. You need to plan in advance, at least one season to start. But that's enough time for that initial surface area to be broken down enough that you can plant into it the following season. And then every year after that, it only gets better and better. So how do you prepare your new garden plot using the no-till method? Follow these simple guidelines and you'll be planting into perfect soil within just a few seasons. First, smother the area you want to use for planting. This will kill the grass and weeds beneath and soften the area for planting later. 5 to 10 layers of newspaper would work as a base level, but if you do this, just be sure to come in behind it with something to quickly weigh it down. Compost is my method of choice for that. As an alternative to newspaper, I prefer cardboard. It's just as available and easier to work with. Plus, over time, it completely breaks down, and I think it provides a better smother base to begin with. Next, add layers of organic material above the cardboard or paper. You want something that will break down rather quickly. I like to use rotted leaves if available, well-aged manure or compost, even straw. Ideally, a mix of several of these options would be great. While you could stop here, I add one more layer of shredded wood chips or bark. It adds some bulk and weight. This is also a great time to add any supplemental nutrients. I use Milorganite here to help all this material break down quicker while adding another organic nitrogen source into the soil. My plan is to end up with about a 6-inch layer of blended organic material. In a matter of months, if you keep it moist, all of this that you've added will break down and integrate into the soil and be that first new nutrient-rich plantable layer. When you're ready, you can just pull away the area where you want to sow your seeds or plant your seedlings. The beauty of this method is that unlike tilling that brings millions of weed seeds to the surface, in a no-till environment, we're covering the dormant seeds deeper and deeper as we continue to add a new layer or two of organic matter every year. Ultimately, you have an incredibly spongy layer of soil rich in nutrients and beneficial organisms that are the perfect environment for roots to grow in and easily expand. The added benefit of mulch layers is that it helps protect the soil surface, drastically reducing the risk of soil erosion and runoff while improving water infiltration and moisture holding capacity. In the off-season, as an alternative to mulch, you could plant cover crops as a living mulch layer that adds nutrients to the soil and improves drainage while still protecting the surface. So the final step was to take the last bit of the straw and add it to the new part of the planting bed, and then whatever was left over, I added it to the existing bed. So now everything's protected and all that organic matter is going to break down over time. Now the last step that I do is just water this all in to get it kick-started. But anything worth having is worth waiting for, and it's going to take a couple years for this area to reach its full potential as far as really improved soil. But anything worth having is worth waiting for, and that's certainly the case in a no-till soil environment like this.